This is a response to a video uploaded by Scanner Barkley titled Some Thoughts on the Idea That Gaming Needs to Grow Up. And what the core message of his video is that in other medias, in like movies and music, they're well-rounded. They have a little bit for everybody. There's just like mind-dumbingly just explosive-filled movies like Michael Bay movies, and then there's deep thriller, like Schindler's List. Or, Quentin Tarantino movies where they show that you can do an explosive action movie and you can also have make you think and shit like that. And it's like that in the music industry. You can have a genre, let's take my favorite genre, the one I know most about, hip-hop. And you have the mainstream appeal, which is all about just making money and making the worst and stupidest shit and selling it. And then there's the other side of it where it's literally the music of a revolution, the music of teaching your fellow man the ins and out of the world that is surrounding us. It's fucking politics mixed with religion. It's mixed with everything that ever matters to the human race. It's about creative thinking, philosophy. It's about making people think. If you're just doing witty jokes and you're like trying to come up with connections like, oh, I get that joke, that was a funny one. It's literally comedy put inside of music. It's just the most well-rounded thing in the history I've ever seen in anything. And the thing is gaming's always looked at as games need to grow up. Is what the media, the gaming journalist media says, and it's what some nerds say. And I have another way to phrase this is developers often do something stupid with the game, and they don't take it as serious as you take it as serious. And there's always developers that say something stupid. There was the guy from Fallout where they asked him a question on, I think, Twitter, how did like something survive for over 100 years without food, and the developer was like, LOL, are you serious? It's just a game. And then there's always like the COD developers for Zombies. They asked them some questions and they didn't know the fucking answers to it. It's their own game. There's always the stupid shit that the Destiny devs over at Bungie do. They always say some stupid shit about their game, or just have some stupid shit in the game that you can tell they don't play the game or don't give a fuck about it. There's always shit like that where you're like, I love this game, but the guys who are making the game just don't give a fuck about it. And you're often looked as like a weirdo if you actually care about the game like that much. And I was saying this to myself because I need to talk to somebody intellectual. JK. No, but I was thinking to myself that gaming is the epitome of entertainment. It is the opium. It is the highest level of entertainment there is. You can watch a movie or a TV show and it'll make you feel feelings of laughter out loud, like just uncontrollably, and it can make you swell up and tear or even cry, and you can get a physical connection with just an entertainment on screen. Gaming is that and more. It's interactive. There's immersion. You fucking go around mowing kids down in a game, and in a clutch moment of a game, you feel immersed in it. You feel like you're there. It's just literally gets your fucking adrenaline pumping. It has a chemical reaction in your body. There's in gaming there's addiction with mobile games. There's a form of addiction and chemical imbalance. There are chemicals going on in your brain that get you addicted to it. Just look at Destiny and why we all play that so much. And so to say that gaming isn't the epitome of entertainment would be dumb, because it is. It literally causes all the feelings that anything else has ever caused, but more. And my favorite thing is why I love gaming so much and why I hate movies, is because gaming will last you for fucking 40, 60 days into one game, or a day or three days into a great game, depending on the multiplayer, whatever. I play a multiplayer game for the adrenaline rush, and then I could play another great game like Shadow of Mordor. I put like 3 days into that almost. And I was, it just told me a fucking thing. And if you watch a movie, it's an hour or two. That's it. A TV show's a little different because nowadays we're getting to a closer point where I'm watching a show called Shameless. Got about 12 episodes. They're almost an hour long. There's like 6 seasons, so I'm not going to do math live on air. But it's a lot. That's like almost 4 days or 4 or 5 days. Still not as much as gaming, and it's just one show. But you see how it's kind of getting there, as literally the television market with the TV shows is evolving up to that point. Because the more we get away from commercialized entertainment, from the cable and TV shows, then we will grow into, look at Game of Thrones, look at Shameless, look at like Sherlock, little mini fucking movies on BBC, look at some other fucking ones like that, look at Homeland. I'm just saying the ones I've seen. Just look at TV shows on HBO and Showtime and Cinemax and all the other, maybe not Cinemax, I think they're just the movies. But anyways, yeah, look at all those shows on those, and just that's the epitome of where it's going, and that's how it's evolving. But gaming's kind of always been like that. gaming's always been deep in certain ways and stuff. Just look at games like fucking, you know, right here as you see, I threw in some Tomb Raider. It's just a fucking movie mixed in with action and everything like that, and it's just crazy. So gaming's always been like that. You know, it's growing. You know, it's not always been like, or you know what I mean. It's not been like that on Pong on the Atari, but you know what I mean. Like, they've always been trying to mix in little things in the games that make you feel stuff. You know, you play a game like Portal 2, and there was that backstory going on the entire time, and it's just like crazy. You know, I'm trying to think of some other games, but you know, you play games and it just makes you think. You know, you could play a game like Call of Duty, you know, Zombies, and you piece together the backstory of that while playing it, and other people didn't even know the story existed. Meanwhile, you have this whole community diving into it, understanding what happened, and going through a storyline that's just barely there unless you go deep into it, and then you realize it's extravagant as fuck. You know, it's shit like that. You know, BioShock Infinite, that makes you think. You have to play like 2 or 3 times to figure out what the fuck happened. I watched a playthrough, then played it. You know, and you come away with like learning from it, and it's like that for many games. You know, there's many games that come out and make you think and feel shit like that. And that game, that's always there in gaming, though. You know, if you go back through the years, you know, like B. Dobbins did a video talking about how Halo is like just so deep in lore and shit like that, and how it plays off of philosophy from mankind, our real mankind. And so gaming's always been like that. It's always been mixed in and makes you think in other ways. It's just that it's suffering from some like video or rap music. It's suffering from mainstream appeal. Now, games like Call of Duty will be shallow on the surface as far as storyline. They're no Spec Ops: The Line, which I hear nothing but great stuff. I won't lie and say I played it, but I hear nothing but great stuff. But it's not deep, you know. It's not. It's shallow. There's for the main story, but they advertise it as like it's something more. Or you remember that whole Cyborg thing, like, oh, what if people turn into that? Oh, robots and shit. Like, they don't fucking care. That shit was half-assed like a motherfucker. That wasn't deeper than what it was. It was shallow. You know, none of these games nowadays, like mainstream ones like Destiny, whoo, that shit was shallow as fuck. You know, they're not deep. They seem like they are deeper to make you go, oh, I'm playing this game and I might learn something from it. But they're not. They're shallow. Hip hop does the same thing. With there's these mainstream rappers, and then they get on the bandwagon of a social media topic, like Locksmith said in his lyrics before, just so they could seem conscious, but really it's just a cash grab, the way they could fill their pockets. And that's all that was. And the same thing happens in video games now. You know, game developers think they're fucking doing, you know, like, oh, we're gonna seem like we're actually doing something fancy or have some meaning behind it. And there's no meaning behind it. It's just shallow, and there's nothing real there. It's not deep, you know. And it just takes away from the other games, and that's what it is. I really think that's what it is in the gaming industry. It's not that they need to grow up. It's that people need to realize that they're just doing a marketing ploy for like games like Call of Duty to seem like they're deeper than what they really are, and that the games that are actually deeper than what they even may seem on the surface, they need to be getting credit for what they are. And that's once again the media's fault for being fucking dumbasses. You know, they'll review a game like Call of Duty, give it like an 8 or 9, give Star Wars Battlefront only a 7, even though it does so much more than just, you know, oh, it's only got a couple maps. Like, yeah, but there's more to it. Like, your review isn't fucking telling the full story. It's shit like that. You know, that's besides the point. But I do think there's some type of relation between hip hop, like how the underground scene literally is the epitome of fucking music, and how if you take the right certain games from certain developers, it'll be the epitome of a social, or you know, social decorum. I don't know, social, just a way you can gauge stuff in life and stuff. There's just so much there. And so let me know your thoughts in the comment section of maybe some games that have changed your life or made you think or cry or something like that in Field, and let me know your thoughts on this video. This is actually a pretty good one. Peace out.